This video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. There is an Avatar comic where Aang gets his first official kill. And honestly, it's pretty sad to see. Aang is a pacifist who's sworn to never kill anybody, but this time, he had no choice. So why does Aang kill this guy, and how does he cope with it? Well, I don't know yet, so that's why I'm going to tell you guys the whole story. Well, at least everything that isn't boring. I'm not going to put it in 3 different parts and milk this. Just going to have one video, cut out all of the boring stuff. So make sure you stay until the very end so you understand the story. So if you will, just sit down, relax for the next 15 minutes, or however long this video is, and let's begin. This story starts off in Yudao, which is basically Republic City, but in its infancy. Aang sees a woman in air nomad clothing, and he doesn't know who this is, so he chases her. He catches up to her, and he realizes that this is Avatar Yang Chan, but for whatever reason, he just can't seem to hear her, and she vanishes. Now, no matter what Aang does, he can't seem to make contact with Yang Chan again, and this really bothers him, and he knows something has to be wrong. So later that day, Aang decides he's going to take his air acolytes on a field trip, and they're going to celebrate the Yang Chan festival. And when they finally get to this location, Aang wants everybody to bow to the statue. Everyone does it except for Toph. This is a great reminder that these are still little kids. They may have grown a few inches, but they're still kids. Toph won't even swallow her pride for 2 seconds to show her friend respect. The group starts heading to the meadow where Yang Chan used to hold her celebration, but when they get there, everything's been built on and taken over. This seems to happen a lot with old air nomad stuff. There is an entire factory here just producing these awful chemicals and ruining the environment. So Aang comes to the conclusion that this must have been what Yang Chan was trying to tell him. She was trying to lead him here. They end up meeting one of the higher ups of this factory and they get a tour. The entire tour, Aang is trying to get a word in. He wants to tell him to shut this place down, but this guy is busy just being a Toph fan. The interesting thing about this factory is that it utilizes bending in order to keep things moving, but I know what you guys should be utilizing right now. You guys should be utilizing today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. I'm sure almost all of you guys have heard of Surfshark before, and that's for a good reason. Surfshark is the best VPN on the market, and for whatever reason, if you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network that keeps your internet secure and safe from huge corporations and hackers on the internet. Surfshark allows you to change your virtual location to anywhere in the world. This can be used to unblock all of the content libraries on Netflix. You guys are always asking me how to watch Avatar. You're like, I don't see it on Netflix. Surfshark has got you covered. You download Surfshark VPN, change your location to the US or UK, and you'll have access to Avatar again. I personally use this all the time to watch anime. I just change my location to Japan and I get a whole new library of anime that I've never even seen before. Surfshark also has a feature to where one account will work on an unlimited amount of devices. Trust me, I've tested it many times now. So what are you guys waiting for? From now until December 31st, you can use my code AVATARS at checkout to receive 85% off plus 3 extra months free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there really is no risk to try it out. The link is in the description down below, and thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. When they get out of the factory, Aang is seeing these visions of Yang Chan again, but he's also seeing these visions of a giant monster destroying this very town. Instead of chasing Yang Chan again, he goes to talk to one of the factory owners and he's like, dude, this factory shouldn't be here, let alone an entire town. This land is sacred. Toph is just being tough and she disagrees. Then Aang just decides to be Aang. Now, the funny thing is, they can't all agree that the factory is bad because it's on sacred land. No, they can't agree on that. Instead, they're like, hey, look at that river. It looks pretty dirty. Maybe that's why the factory is bad, and they all agree on that, but not the sacred land. Now, while they're talking about this, an earthquake happens, and it just keeps happening. So they go to check in on the factory workers, and hey, now Toph's dad's here. And those rhino guys from the last Airbender, they're also here. Just a bunch of random stuff is happening. A fight breaks loose. Toph is like, screw this, I'm gonna go talk to my dad. And Aang's like, screw this, let's go eat. Aang sets everything up to continue the festival with his air acolytes, while Toph looks for her dad while walking around Walter White's factory. While all of this is happening, Sokka and Katara are still fighting those rhino guys. One of those rhino guys conveniently has a bomb that Sokka uses to accidentally uncover a secret entrance. Really just excellent storytelling here. The festival has begun and Aang has entered into the Avatar state. He ends up meeting with Yang Chan yet again, but this time, he can finally hear her. Toph is fighting with her dad. Her dad's like, you're not my daughter, I don't know you. And Toph's like, yeah, I am your daughter. And he's like, no you're not. Sokka and Katara have now entered Breaking Bad, and they found all of Walter White's workers. Oh, and the Yu Yan archers, they're here now. Seems like everybody from the past is coming back in this one comic book at this random location. Yang Chan tells Aang about her first mission as a fully fledged avatar. There is this city begging for Yang Chan's help. The spirit keeps coming and wreaking havoc, and Yang Chan tries to deal with the spirit, but it doesn't seem to be working, so they end up fighting all night long. Toph and her dad still can't seem to agree on anything. As Toph is about to leave, Sokka comes in and tells everyone about the lab that they found and how it's about to collapse. But Walter White tells everybody that his crystals and the lab are inspected to be safe. This really sounds like Breaking Bad, so let's see how long I can keep making these references. But Sokka's like, no, not talking about that mine. Different mine. And they all head off. Meanwhile, Yang Chan is still talking to Aang about the giant. We learn that this giant is attacking because the people killed a spirit and he wants revenge. Walter White had no idea that there was a lab underneath his lab and orders everybody to exit the lab, but another earthquake happens and it collapses. Yang Chan is still explaining her battle. Basically, her and the spirit end up coming to a compromise. If the air nomads carry on the traditions of the spirits, then he'll leave everyone alone. However, with the 100-year-long war, this hasn't really been possible, so he's back. With the non-stop earthquakes, everybody is now trapped. Toph is the only one keeping these guys from becoming Obito. Because it's a factory that fell on them, Aang isn't really much help, because he can't metal bend. So they call all of Toph's students to help. While they're stuck down here, Toph's dad thinks that maybe this is a good time to start talking about their family situation. While Toph literally has the world on her shoulders, her dad says because of her leaving, his mom blames him and she left. So he decided to start a new life here. Toph's students finally get here and they lift up all of the iron. Now while they're doing this, the iron is actually armor pieces. After everyone is free, Aang sees Yang Chan yet again for like the 9th time. He leaves and makes a medallion out of a rock, and he gets his connection back to Roku and his past lives. Yang Chan finally gets to finish up her story, detailing that she made a statue as a memorial for the spirit who died, and she also promised that this land would return to its natural state. So no buildings, nothing. This will just be nature. This would act as a sign that humans were capable of preserving and protecting the balance between the spirits and the humans. Once a year, the air nomads would come and participate in this festival. This would eventually become known as the Yang Chan Festival. Aang sees General Old Iron coming out of the water, so he wants everything to return back to normal. So he tries to destroy the factory. Toph doesn't let him do this. They get into a little bit of an argument over the morality of all of this. Toph's entire academy is now attacking Aang. All of this is happening while General Old Iron is getting closer and closer. Eventually, he reaches the shore. This guy is attacking all of Aang's friends. Aang is desperately trying to reason with this guy, but this guy is just ignoring him and continues to attack. Aang even makes this giant rock skeleton to compete with his size, and Toph's like, alright, maybe we shouldn't attack Aang. Let's help him out, guys. And they metal bend all of the armor off of the giant. Toph is telling Aang, now's your chance. You have to hit him with everything you have. And Aang's like, if I do that, he's gonna die. I don't think he can take it. But eventually it comes down to it. It's either don't kill the spirit or let his friends die. So he chooses his friends and blasts a giant hole through the spirit's chest, ending its life. Now, you can just see Aang is absolutely devastated. He didn't want to have to do this. After not having to kill Ozai, Aang thought he would never have to kill anybody, but unfortunately, he was wrong. 3 months later, a new tradition is born. It's a lot different than the Yang Chan Festival, but the concept is pretty much the same. It's just been reborn. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I tried my best to make it at least a little bit interesting, but it just wasn't. But anyways, thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. They helped me out a lot. The link is in the description down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.